You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob, and you're listening to episode number 418. Thank you so much for joining us. A lot of choices out there, and you're hanging with us. We really appreciate that.
We do appreciate it, and thank you for all the reviews. Thank you for all the shares, and keep them coming. If this show has been valuable, it's helped you out maybe once or twice, then don't be afraid to tell a friend about it. And if you have a question, go to askdroneu.com and upload it right now.
Absolutely. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. We'd love to have this delivered to your inbox every single day without you thinking about it.
Definitely.
Get the newest, latest content as soon as it's available.
Yep. And I'm sure you're listening to this podcast, and there are lots of camera announcements. The new Inspire 2 is coming out. The FAA has something to say here at Interdrone, and Interdrone is going on. I will not be there. I am in the Bahamas, and I don't want to go to Interdrone. I'll probably go next year, but I'd rather be on vacation, let's be honest. So
yeah, well, maybe we'll have somebody there checking it out for us.
I'm supposed to email Vic today and let him know to cover some things. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Vic's going to be there.
Yep.
Nice.
There's going to be a lot of Drone U people there.
Well, that's true, but I mean somebody that we have sort of there representing Drone U and getting all the good information out to the peeps.
Yeah, it's a good point. Let's just get to today's question.
Let's just do that. It's a good one.
Hey guys, love the show. Thanks for keeping topics fresh and easy. My name is Sean Wolf, calling in from Berlin, New Jersey. I'm pretty new to the drone industry, and I'm trying to soak up as much info and advice as I can. I fly the Phantom 2 at the moment, customized by DSLR pros, and I'm waiting on my DJI Osmo to arrive in the mail. My goal is to get as much practice as possible in and start moving into real estate projects. I have a few connections in that field to get me started, and I'm just trying to build a portfolio by shooting my own house and friends and family's houses. As August 29th is fast approaching, I'm also going to start studying for the 107 so I can get that under my belt and out of the way. I have a two-part question for you. Part one, is the Phantom 2 the best drone to be shooting with for real estate? Or is the Phantom 4 or Inspire 1 worth the upgrade based on features that may allow you to focus less on flying and more on shooting? And part two of that question, with a flexible budget of say 10 grand, what equipment, aerial equipment, standard videography equipment, and editing should I focus my funds toward? And what marketing materials should I focus my funds toward? I appreciate any feedback and always look forward to the new episodes coming out. Thanks, guys.
Great question.
Very good question. Very thorough. I like the way he's approaching this. Lots of practice. Sounds like he's doing some planning to make sure that he's got everything ironed out before he really jumps out into the business world, which is great. More people should do it that way.
I think it's very smart.
Yeah.
The jump from a Phantom 2, though, to a Phantom 4 is quite significant. But he's asking, what is the equipment I should be looking at and doing this seriously? I've got 10K. What do I get? For me, it's pretty easy, and I'm not going to say it based on what I like. I'm going to say it based on what I use and what makes me money. Very clearly, I have a Sony camera for my stills when doing, photography. I love my Sony sensor. It's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. I also utilize an Osmo right now. I've got a dolly for it, suction cup, extension arm. I can use that Osmo just about anywhere. I get some really killer motion. But in order to really film inside in low light, you've got to have the X5 on the Osmo, so utilizing the Osmo Pro. If he were to have an Osmo Pro with the X5 and he were to have an Inspire 1 with the Z3, he would have a lot more camera control. He would have zoom capabilities. He would also have the ability to do AEB, which is automatic exposure bracketing. So we're taking 5 photos, we're sticking them together, and we're creating HDR images so that we get a lot more pop in our color, a lot more dynamic
You can
range.
really tell the difference of those photos from the others. They really jump out at you.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's really beauty versus non-beauty. And I mean, you have so much you can do with the Inspire 1. So if you had the Inspire 1 with the Z3, and now that we're saying this, the Inspire 2 is out, so probably the Inspire 2, let's be honest.
At this point, you might as well.
Might as well. Yeah, literally.
And he's got a decent budget. He's actually got probably a bigger budget than most people in his position have, which is good.
And I think, in an Inspire 2, an Osmo, let me put it to you this way. If he had a Z3, so he could do zoom shots, so if he's doing a lot of urban homes, if he's got an X5, so he can do the low light and use it on the Osmo, he's really going to be in good shape. And then he's going to need a good still camera that he can also use for video. I think the 6300 is great. The Z camera we're shooting on right now, honestly, my favorite camera. You can live stream from it. You can use it as a multicam setup. It never overheats. It'll just keep working and working and working. It shoots 4K. It's got interchangeable lenses. It weighs less than half a pound.
It's a
powerhouse camera.
It is a powerhouse camera.
$600, and it's
insane.
Powerhouse camera.
So what is it again?
It's called the Z Camera E1.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing 99% of the people listening have not heard of it.
No.
Which is too bad.
And it's an amazing, amazing camera. You can get them on B&H, Best Buy, Amazon. They actually gave us this camera at NAB. We still need to complete a very extensive review for them. But we've been using this camera so much because we found it so useful. It's awesome. So I would recommend one of those for sure. Yeah,
and all in on that were, what, about $750, $800 with the lens?
Yep, with the lens, we've got a 1442 on there. And yeah, $750. I have not bought another thing for it.
And by the way, when I say we're all in, that assumes that we would have purchased the actual camera. Fortunately, we didn't have to. But just so you know, all in $750, $800, and you'd have quite a setup.
Yes, you would.
All right, so
he's talking about moving up. The other reason to get the Inspire is the fact that he will pretty much be able to fly more days out of the year than he would with the Phantom. So that's the other reason to get the Inspire.
I think the other reason to get the Inspire is that getting started in real estate is great, but as you get better at that, likely new opportunities are going to come your way, and you're going to be ready for those with the Inspire.
Yes, you are. Definitely going to be ready for that, ready to step up, as you would say. Sorry, my mind is just going right now because I'm thinking, gosh, if I just had $10,000, what would I buy?
Right.
And my mind just wanders like,
well, and you're probably thinking of it in terms of from up here onward, right? He's still down here in terms of trying to get to right here. So.
Yeah, you can do so much though. Like when I first got started out, I had an A6000 and a Phantom 2, and I was murdering it.
Yeah,
I mean, literally.
Which brings us back to the practice and being really good at your craft, because ultimately that's what is important.
It's true.
Obviously, good equipment is important. But if you've got the best equipment and you can't fly it, you can't use it, then who cares?
Yeah.
What you've got.
Really.
What about editing? So it depends on the machine they use, of course.
Yes. If you use a Mac, you've got to go Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is just made to work on Mac faster than Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro has an awesome, amazing suite of products: After Effects, Bridge, Lightroom, Photoshop, which I use a lot for photo editing and whatnot. Right. But that being said, I love Final Cut Pro. In fact, I just upgraded to the new version on all of the computers. I really do love it. It's been fantastic for me, you know. They've got some great new titles in there. You can buy titles, you can buy stock footage, you can buy plugins from videohive.net. That's the whole Audio Jungle family. Video Blocks, one of our new sponsors. We haven't recorded their ad yet, but they do have stock footage as well, and you only pay, I think it's $150, and you can download as much stock footage as you want from videoblocks.com. And in fact, I think they have some audio version or some audio copyright-free music as well.
Yeah, well, we're going to get them on before too long so that they can tell you guys all about what they do and what they're best at. That's going to be probably a couple weeks away, but we are excited about that as well because I think they're going to have some great tools for everybody out there to use. He mentioned marketing tools.
I would say go through the Google AdWords training. It's kind of expensive, but go through the Google AdWords training and you'll learn how to one-up just about everybody by spending maybe $5 a day on Google AdWords to rep your business. I think it's really important. Also, Marketing comes down to go to sites that offer jobs. I think there's a lot of them out there. There's Airstock and Dronecast and all those. There's a lot of them, and I use different ones. I use some of the same ones as other people. But don't forget, if you've really got to figure out your niche, you got to figure out what your business you want to go after. So once you figure out your niche, am I going to go after real estate? Should I talk to the local NAR office? Should I become involved in the local associations? What networking things should I be doing? You've got to start thinking as you have to start thinking of yourself as an industry insider. How do you get inside that industry? How do you meet and network with everyone and grow relationships? Because that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And in terms of materials on the marketing side, I'm speaking of your business, a couple of our businesses, with some of the real estate stuff you were doing, it was basically a postcard.
Yep.
And so maybe a postcard that you've designed and developed, you're going to want something to hand out to these people that you're going and seeing and communicating with and networking with that Paul's referring to, and then maybe spend a little bit of money on a site. But you can do a pretty nice site for really inexpensively now.
So, $20 a month.
Yeah, I would say those are probably the two biggest things from my perspective in terms of getting started.
Yep.
I don't know that you need a lot more than that because it's really all about you. You are your networking material.
That is correct. Yeah, I just built a site, takenflight.com, TAITKEN flight.com. And it is my personal branded site. Took me a couple hours on Squarespace, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, there are so many of those tools out there, as I'm sure Sean knows, that make it really, really easy for people to get a site up and running.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
but great question. Love those business questions. If you have a business question, go to askdroneu.com. Upload that business question. We do really love talking about it. Other things we love talking about, getting new equipment. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we're sitting here recording this episode before the Inspire 2 announcement on September 10th, before a lot of the announcements that are going on. But if the Inspire 2 is everything that I think it is, I would probably tell him equipment-wise, Osmo Pro, Inspire 1 Z3, Sony camera, or some sort of camera that he can use.
If not the Z1.
If not the Z1. Well, the Z1, I say, because he's talking about real estate, so I didn't recommend the Z1.
Okay.
Because it's just not good for photos. That's the best video camera I've ever had.
Got it.
But for photos, it's not.
Stills, go with the Sony.
Yeah. If you're making vlog videos, if you're making just videos in production, you need something that's always going to be reliable for you, and you can use 10 different angles of it. You could do GoPro arrays, but with 4K cameras. The Z1 is such an awesome camera. So check them out. Really check them out.
Cool.
Anyway, guys, if you're thinking about becoming a drone pilot, turning your passion into profit, do so with the Drone U community. Just go to thedroneu.com and become a member. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.